How did an aspiring singer, once laughed at and unable to get into his high school choir, find himself welcomed into his university choir without so much as an audition? And how did a caring vocal coach help turn the tide? And how did scripture memorization change his music? Meet Steve Adetumbi and hear why his testimony is all about communicating the reality of the cross. That's all coming up here on My Story, My Song. Welcome to My Story, My Song. My special guest today is a singer-songwriter and graphic artist from Southern California, Steve Adetumbi. Steve, welcome.
Thank you.
It's great to have you here.
Great to be here.
So let me just ask you, I've traveled a lot in Africa. Adetumbi, it sounds almost African.
Well, it actually is African. My dad is from Nigeria, and my mom is from Grenada. So the Nigerian part is what you're hearing.
Okay,
there.
but you grew up here in the United States.
Yes, that's correct.
Born and raised here.
Sure.
Now let's start at the beginning. What are your first memories of music?
Well, I guess family worship is going to be the earliest memories I'm going to have of music. We had hearty family worships, and we would sing maybe for an hour or two at home when we were.
So family worship, what is this? How do you do family worship?
Well, family worship, we just the way we start off was with prayer, and we open up hymns, and we would all choose a couple of hymns. Me and my siblings and my parents, and we would sing them all, and then we would read something from the scriptures or from an inspirational book. And
how often did you have family worship?
Quite frequently. Pretty much, we had short ones every day, but at least once or twice a week we'd have a long one where we'd go through all the songs.
So that's a lot of music then in your background.
Yeah, it was. That was a lot of music, but just inside the house though.
Okay, yeah. So just inside the house.
Right.
So at what point did you say, hey, I'd like to sing in front of other people?
Well, I was inspired by a group called Acapella. We had moved to Florida, and it was a time when I didn't have a lot of friends, so my friend was my brother. So my brother would stay inside of our room, and my mom had brought back these CDs, and we were hearing the acapella, and the place where we used to live before had a radio station, and that radio station played some of the acapella music, and so we recognized it when she brought the CDs, but we weren't familiar with the artists. And so we really, really loved that music, particularly me. And we used to sing it, and we used to record ourselves on tape singing their songs. And I was like, man, I just fell in love with singing at that point. And I just like, man, I felt pretty good about what I was doing there. And I said, I would love to do this elsewhere.
And so what happened next?
Well, what happened next is I just kind of kept that desire in there until I accidentally unleashed that desire to my friends at school.
Okay, yeah. And what did they say?
Well, at school, I didn't do any singing at school. The singing stuff was for the girls at grade school.
So you never sang at school at all? And they had no idea that you had all this music
No, there was
going
no way I was going to let them catch me doing girls stuff. So, I just left that up to the girls.
But acapella isn't girls stuff, is it?
No, I know that now, but at that time, it just wasn't cool. So,
okay.
I just stayed away from it. And I just kind of, one day, I don't know why, I don't even know why I did this. I just told them, I was going to try out for, when we were in grade school and we were about to go to high school the next year, and I said I was going to try out for the traveling choir, which was a rather prestigious thing in our mind. And they kind of laughed at me, and I don't blame them. I would have laughed if I heard someone else like me saying that. I would have laughed at them too.
So did you try out?
I did try out.
And what happened?
I failed.
Seriously?
I didn't make it. Yeah.
Oh
yeah.
no.
I'm glad I failed. I didn't. I wasn't really familiar with music that much. I was just getting started. I really couldn't hear the music that well. I didn't really have a good sense of rhythm. I still struggle with those things now, but I failed, and I failed subsequently up until my senior year, and finally I made it in.
Okay, so you finally made it in.
Sure.
Then what happened after that with your career?
Well, I moved on to college, and I was a little more familiar with singing at that point, and I got a vocal coach, and I decided to take voice lessons. And
So that was the first then formal training you actually had with voice and
no,
came-
actually, my junior year, that's when I really started getting into in high school.
Okay.
And I had a really good vocal coach, and that kind of helped me prepare me for college. The training I received in college.
So did you sing in a university choir then, or a college choir?
Yes, I kind of was weary because I did a lot of, my junior year, I used to play violin, and I really wasn't good at it. I was last chair, and I dropped the violin, and my junior year I joined about 4 or 5 choirs. So I was kind of choired out for the next couple of years. And
4 or 5 choirs and maintained some kind of grades with all of that, or was music the only thing you did?
No, I maintained grades, and I joined choir, and I had a singing group too, a guys group, and so I was really immersed into the music scene. And moving on to college, I was just kind of weary of the rigors of choir, and so I kind of took a rest my first semester, and then the second semester. Once the people were familiar with me, they asked me to join the choir, and I consented.
So you sang in choirs, but then did you ever sing solo at all?
Yes, I did some solos. I did some solos, of course, with my group, and there was some times that opened up where I could do some solos in high school and also in college. When you do classical training, you have recitals and.
So you have some classical training.
Sure.
Which college did you go to?
Well, the first college I went to was Oakwood College. It's now Oakwood University, and that's.
So if you were at Oakwood, were you part of the Aeolians?
Yes, I actually was a part of the Aeolians. That's the choir that I joined my second semester there.
What was it like to sing with the Aeolians?
It was fabulous. I mean,
They're a very prestigious group.
Yes, they are. They were very prestigious, and I think even that year, the year that I joined, they were inducted into the Alabama Hall of Fame. They were really good singers all around me, and they were very encouraging. So I have very good memories of that.
Very good. Now let's talk about you as a songwriter. When did you start writing music?
That kind of goes back to when I got into high school. My friend Ian. And another friend named Andre, they were starting a group, and they had an idea of what they were going to do, and Ian actually had heard me sing. He was one of the few people who had heard. He was one of the only people outside of my family that.
So you must have
heard me
been a pretty good friend then.
Yes, no, we were good friends. Yes, sure. And so he was the one who managed to help me get into the group, and they actually had a song that they were working on, and. I heard they were writing songs, and I liked the idea of writing songs, so I went home and I kind of sketched my own song out, and all the lyrics came to me, and I came and presented the lyrics that I had and tried to tell them my song, and they just kind of snatched the lyrics, and they had another song without lyrics, and they took those lyrics and
No way.
applied it to it. Yeah.
So they had created some music but
Yeah.
didn't have lyrics,
Sure.
and you had the lyrics.
I had the lyrics, sure.
And they married the two.
They just married it.
And what song was that?
The song was called Blessed Be Your Name.
Blessed Be Your Name.
Yeah,
Okay, how
sure.
special.
Yeah, it's an awesome. It was
So-
a kind of awesome experience.
So when you write music, what did it do for you personally?
It was just at the time when I was writing music in high school, I really didn't know I really didn't have a real deep experience in the lyrics or into a relationship with God, but I knew there was something behind there, and I knew from what I experienced from hearing other artists, I knew that there was something that they were singing from, and I tried to kind of replicate that in what I was writing, and a lot of times the music just kind of just flowed. It just kind of came out, and the lyrics would come, and the melody would come, or I would hear something that my buddy would be playing, and the lyrics would just kind of come. So it was just something that probably one of my fondest memories in my past, just thinking about writing music and putting stuff together.
In a moment, we're going to hear you sing a song that you wrote, Grateful for You.
That's correct.
Tell us about this song.
It's an interesting song, interesting story behind the song, actually. It was a song that we were asked to sing for a banquet when I was in high school, and we were trying to write a love song, and my buddy Ian, the same guy, he had the music to the song, and we were trying to put together lyrics and a melody to go with what he had, and we couldn't think of anything. And matter of fact, we finished writing it the very day of the performance, and that night we learned it, and we went and we performed it, and it went well. And we liked the song so much that we adapted it for our group. And then later on, we wanted to sing it elsewhere. So it just like I was thinking about the song and the melody of the song, it kind of lent itself to a kind of a spiritual meaning. So I adapted it.
And I can't wait to hear you sing it.
Sure.
Here is Steve with Grateful for You.
My Jesus Christ made flesh for me, so from the grip of sin I could be set free. And though there's no way for me to repay you, I give you my life, my heart, all I do. And oh, what love divine, that you would give your life for mine. And though sometimes it's hard to see, I'm grateful for you. And oh, what a feeling, oh, what a joy that my words can't express. Through your death I've been blessed, and grace not deserved is not only mine, but eternally I will live in a land without time. And that you would give your life for mine. And though sometimes it's hard to see, I'm grateful for you. I'm so very grateful that your love I've come to know. Now help me, Lord, my love and oh, what love divine, that you would give your life for little mine. And with every breath I want to make you see, I'm grateful for